Communications and Works Minister Honorable Mark Vanterpool did not give precise details about the collections of fees from head tax for cruise passengers disembarking at the Road Town Cruise Pier. Responding to questions on April 19th during the 8th sitting of the House of Assembly from Leader of the Opposition and 3rd District Representative Honorable Julian Fraser, Minister Vanterpool said the fees are being collected by the British Virgin Islands Port Authority. However, his answers about various aspects of the agreement between Norwegian and Disney Cruise left room for scrutiny.
The $15 that we are collecting, a portion goes to government and a portion supposed to, I understand, go back to the cruise lines. Could you tell me what portions of the $15, how it's broken up?
I can't remember the full detail, but I'll give you as best I can because the two cruise lines have two different figures. One of them, I believe, pay $13 at this point, with the difference for the first 3 years, I believe, with the difference being contributed to training and so on. And I believe this is with the Disney Group. I can't remember the specifics of the berthing agreement now. The second one pays a similar amount, or $13, with the difference being contributed to marketing on behalf of the territory. This will come to an end after, in one case, 3 years, and in one case, I think 5 years, when they will revert to the full $15 per head. Thank you. Sorry. At the moment, Madam Speaker, all the fees are being paid to the BVI Port Authority, and I don't recall, or at least the arrangement at this point is that the BVI Port Authority is collecting the full amount at this point.
In January this year, Honorable Mark Vanterpool refuted claims of a possible reduction from $15 to $7 in the head tax agreement between Norwegian Cruise Line and Disney Cruise Line. One thing though, Minister, people are saying on the street that you're not collecting $15 per head tax. Is that true? Are you collecting $15?
Oh yes, we are. The $15 per head tax have been for everybody, and effective the 15th of this month, which was yesterday, Norwegian Cruise Lines will start paying their $15. They were the last ones, and so that's what we're doing.
Meanwhile, there are 70 commercial spaces available at the new Tortola Pier Park, and the leases have been signed for 52 of those spaces, while 38 spaces are currently in operation. Vanterpool says while there are some cases of delayed payment, there are no serious infractions to date.
10 spaces are under negotiation pending signage of a lease. 6 spaces remain available for interested persons to rent on the upper levels, and we are considering applications for the last 2 kiosks.
And I asked the minister if he's satisfied that the rents are being paid as expected.
Madam Speaker, as I would have to say, generally speaking, yes. There may be 1 or 2 cases that may be behind, and the Tortola Pier Park company is actively pursuing anyone who may be behind, but there are no serious cases of rent infractions at this point, as far as I'm aware.
And the Communications Minister says all ferry operators contracted to provide tendering for cruise ships during construction of the cruise pier have been paid off, with one exception, due to the late submission of an invoice.
All ferry companies that were contracted to provide tendering services during the cruise pier development have been paid, with the exception of one Caribbean Maritime Excursion, whose invoice was received late. The BVI Port Authority is currently working on the settlement of his invoice as per the agreed payment schedule with this company. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I wonder if the minister could tell me what his definition of the word late means. I think that this project was completed over a year now. Huh?
Madam Speaker, this is a report I have from the Port Authority that the invoice was received late. I don't know what late is in this case. And if I did, I would be happy to share it with the member. But I can get a specific date when the invoice was received and be able to give the member more information on that. But that is the information I have at this point, Madam.
Work on the Road Tongue Cruise Pier project began in September 2014. The reopening of the expanded pier took place on April 29, 2015 and coincided with the inaugural visit of the Norwegian cruise ship Getaway to BVI shores. The cruise pier and park development project was solidified with the signing of berthing agreements between the British Virgin Islands Port Authority and the Norwegian Cruise Line and Disney Cruise Line on January 17, 2014. This ensured a minimum of 425,000 cruise passengers visiting the BVI shores annually for the next 15 years. Through that berthing agreement, the Tortola Pier Park is expected to generate some $6.3 million annually in guaranteed revenue.